Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Thank all you little sterling people out there for participating last night in the live reads. It was so fun, and the dialogue was really cool, and it was a really good time. That was like the fun beginning of the Halloween sequence, and I busted out my crown. It was so funny. I felt like it was still on my head after I took it off. It was so funny. But anyway, I want to start. I'm going to let you guys, we're going to do an animal pick, and I'm going to read from it, and then we're going to have your choice be on there. And what this is going to be is, let me see. I like to phrase it perfectly so it's more succinct, because some of them go a little, I've seen readers that go a little off, so far off topic, it's not even how it began. Let's see. So we're going to start with these. 1 and 2. We'll say turquoise for the first animal and calcite for the second animal. Okay. So we'll start with this. And these are going to be, the topic is going to be, are you aware of who has a crush on you, and how close are they? Because what happens is, if we're not giving ourselves ample time to study the body language, the actual words, and the interactions of those we're dealing with, because it can be so fast-paced, right? We can be at basically Mach speed, trying to multitask, so those details get lost on us, and sometimes they catch up with us, right? They're tucked away in our subconscious, and they're like, oh my goodness, he kept like putting his hand over my hand, or his hand on the small of my back, or he was really looking at me, or she was really engaging with me. But because everything is just culminating at such a rapid pace, those aren't in our forefront of our mind right away, because we haven't had time to catch up with that, right? So yeah, who is crushing on us, and are they close by? So number 1 is going to be the Wombat spirit, and number 2 is going to be the Giraffe spirit. And we'll just do a quick read on what those are, because I love starting with an oracle card, especially an animal card, because it's our silly, funny, crazy parts of us, right? I feel like we all have funny characteristics that we either know we have, or we're not quite aware, and somebody's like, do you know you do this or you do that? And sometimes people are shocked. They're like, I do not. And you're like, yeah, you definitely do. Like, I have friends, there's some stuff I just wouldn't point out because it might offend them. You know, lots of times people do strange things with their mouth. They do, like, they make funny things, they crack their knuckles and stuff like that. And I will look at their hands because it distracts me. And I know a lot of people out there crack their knuckles. That always freaked me out, because I could actually feel the shift in my knuckles when that happens. But India used to do that all the time too. Just things like that, you know what I mean? We all have these funny little idiosyncratic behaviors. It's bizarre. And I love it. And that's what makes us unique, you know? So the Wombat spirit says, be at home. The oracle's message is, burrowing deep into the ground, remaining safe, sound, and well-fed with family is a special trait of the Wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat spirit reminds you that to be truly at home in the world, you need to find comfort within your own skin. That is true. Isn't it so nice to just sometimes just laze about your house, read, journal, watch fun films, eat really well, relax? And sometimes we're in such a just free-for-all race to acquire or excel in life that we're not even enjoying our homes and all the great stuff that we have there. You know, our DVD collections, our books, our journals, our tarot cards, our whatever, our chess sets. Like early this morning, I was just looking at chess sets, and I remember me and Hagen used to play all the time, and how restful it is. You know what I mean? And you're going to start to rediscover that and be like, oh yes, yes, please. So that's going to be group 1, and next one is going to be Giraffe spirit. See the big picture. I love giraffes. When I live quite close to the Bronx Zoo, and I love to watch their movements. And I had mentioned the other day on one of the programs that I did that I was so surprised to see giraffes in a quarrel. I had never seen it before, and they take their necks and scoop them down around their opponent's legs and try to knock them over, and then they're so unwieldy when they hit the ground they can knock themselves out. It was so berserkoids. I was like, wow, because giraffes, you don't picture them like biting each other, right? But one did have a little chunk taken out. But I was like, oh my goodness, because they seem just so wistful and proverbial head in the clouds and just dreamy animals, right? But they do, the males are territorial. It's very unusual. Okay, so for giraffe spirit, it says, giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When giraffe spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view in all aspects of your life. It's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes, what others need or are experiencing from the big picture that you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook the details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and circumstances. So stretch yourself. Absolutely. No matter how much knowledge we may glean in one area, even professors of theology, there is an endless supply of different avenues of knowledge. Just go on YouTube, right? If you have one thing you like, I try not to go down the rabbit hole of that because I find it so fascinating. If I want to know about this breakthrough in science, this breakthrough and whatever, and also, yeah, it is just, I love information, and I'll start writing it down, and I'll just be filling notebooks and notebooks. I have them even on my bedside piling up. I started buying them. I'm like, I better start, and then I'm like, no, now I need like legal pads because that makes more sense to try to formulate an idea to absorb this knowledge in an applicable way for life and also my calling in life. But it is just one of those things where the higher you go, you're like, wow, this is up here too. It's amazing. So I'm also going to take the advice of one of my readers. They said, why don't you use a separate deck for each number you're using, just for variety, and also to have it be more separate. I mean, even though we use all the other things, I'm like, that's kind of a cool thing. We'll try anything, man. We're adventurous. We'll go for it. Okay. Okay, so number 1 was the wombat, and number 2 was the giraffe. So we're going to start with number 1. Don't you love this? The smoothest, it's like a wishing stone. I'm going to make it, and I'm going to put it on, I think, like a beautiful silver and rhinestone chain. I just look at that, and I love the inclusions right there. Beautiful. I saw this yesterday. My little heart went for a dance. I'm like, whoa, look at that. Oh, so 3 of swords. So who is crushing on you? 7 of swords. 9 of wands. Oh, whoa. Wow, this is weird. This is, first of all, I'm getting siblings, friends. So if you have siblings, that some of their friends have very, yeah. So 9 of wands, protecting your grounds. The 7 of swords. Whenever I see this, I feel like people, somebody's doing some, I call this the thief in the night card. Somebody just wants to win at all costs. And it's funny, one of the people that is crushing on you, I see 2 to 3 people. Keep an eye out for just some shady a-hole that they always, let me give you an example. Someone nice is speaking, they go, oh, by the way, I just learned about so-and-so. This is the butthole that comes in and goes, oh, really? Isn't that special? They feel the need to compete with everybody. They talk over them. They're an asshole. You have an a-hole crushing on you, and they're actually trying to cause conflict with others to gain your attention in a very a-hole manner. Don't get distracted by that. I see that going on for sure. And this is why with this particular person, they've got their heart bashed up in the past, and now they are not in the correct place. So they are just spewing whatever at you, facts, knowledge, or trying to impress you, but you see this person for who they are. They're not a great person. And I'm going to pull a fairy card for this too. Yeah, you have, it's a person at work, funnily enough. It's a person that is in your sibling sphere, friends of friends, things like that. And the reason they are crushing on you is just your main personality. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. I wanted to put this out on top because that's part of your prospects to others that make you so appealing. They're crushing on you because you have a strong sense of self. You know who you are. You know what you're talking about. You speak logically. You have a sense of humor. You would fit in varied cultures as well. you have a broad spectrum of talents, and this is very appealing to quite many few people that come into contact with you at work, your siblings, friends, your people in your neighborhood, people. I feel like some of you belong to some kinds of clubs, different clubs. I'm hearing like cooking clubs, pottery, book clubs, things like that. People in that sphere also, they're crushing on you just because who you are. You have a very fluid sense of self. You know what I mean? You're not rigid. You're very flexible. You're fun. You have a big variety of interests, and you're also a gentle touch. You don't feel like you have to go out and compete with people. You're simply like you are. You're that easy breezy, lovely person that's cool. And like I always say too, hidden realms do not follow rules of a two-dimensional map. And I always feel like enticement of others, sometimes it's a spiritual grab, you know what I mean? You interconnect that way. There's like a soul grid where if this person was evolved with you in the thing, they're compelled to be near you as well. So it's all kinds of facets at play here. But also the cool thing is, I always say this too, that sensual energies deliver a powerful punch. You know what I mean? Just trust that they're going to become beautiful energy forces, and that passion that sparked in other people that bring this interest towards you, it's actually like a battery charger for you, because you realize that you have this attraction and this magnetism, and it's really great. And you don't use it to be an a-hole about it either. You're simply, you like when other people succeed and do well, and that's a big part of your charm. So that is lovely, you guys. Number one, very, very good. So keep your eyes out for the people that like to be helpful and kind and lovely, and just know you're really going to have your pick for sure, because you're emanating this lovely light, sensuality, and worldliness, and it's very, very attractive. So that's lovely, you guys. So if you are bonking out of here, don't forget to press like and subscribe. Press it and press that bell. All my links are below if you need a private reading. I'm on Instantgo too, so you can have any type of reading, a quick one question read up to any amount of time you want. I can text it right away, and I usually respond within an hour or two, because some people are going on dates. That's the biggest thing. People that are leaving for quick dates and stuff, they just like a little bit of solid advice and guidance, because once your nerves set in, that's when people misjudge things, and they misread facial expressions, body language, all those things, because when nerves are involved, it short circuits us. So just don't ever be nervous. Who cares? You know what I mean? We're all people. We're all just trying to be normal. We're trying not to drool and spit our food out at each other when we're on dates. You're trying to have a touch of elegance. Speaking of that, this ring is like stringalizing me. Not a fan. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's look at these cards. Ooh, 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 I like this. So who is crushing on you, and where are they? That's funny. That came up in the last one too. Oh, ooh, not only they're crushing on you, they're going to approach you in a great many scenario. This is an approach card. They have been observing you. They've been observing what you like to eat, what you're talking about, places you like to go. I feel like a lot of you guys are into art and music, and they are they've been asking around, which is really cute. They've been asking, you know, or tendencies that you have, what you like in your coffee, and they're planning like a super cute little thing, like how to just show up with coffee at your desk, at your place of employment. I feel like some of you work in the food industry, and these are whether it be a cafe, restaurant, whatever, and you have clients that come in there and they eat, but they watch you at work, and they feel like you move like a ballerina. They feel like you are very fluid in your movements, and you're balancing stuff, and you can multitask, and they're very impressed by that. And a lot of them are, even though they're quite moneyed, they don't see social stratospheres like that, like, oh, this person has to work. You know what, movie stars work in restaurants so they can get experience of what that feels like. Some people just like that interaction, that socialness. I know I worked for years in cafes. I love that one-to-one talking to people, being able to move, and I really like to multitask and do a lot of things at once, and the day would go quickly. So I feel like there's a lot of that, and they're impressed by how you deal with others, how you think on your feet, things like that, and they're quite eloquent. I feel they're good speakers, they're worldly, they're lovely. They have a beautiful, they have a lovely way just about them, how they sit, their demeanor. They're very well spoken. they have, but they still have the eyes and wonderment of, you know, like a 6-year-old with like, wow, they enjoy colors, they enjoy their 5 senses, they enjoy how food tastes. They're a sensualist, so they're very observant on people's movements, the fluidity, how they move, how they speak, how their hair moves, all those little things. Like I feel like they're obsessed with hair and hair movement, and they like your glossy hair, things like that. It's very strange. And part of this is because they have a heart of a poet, and they have been damaged a little bit through past just abuses. They're very nice, beautiful souls, and they're very trusting, and I feel like some people took advantage of that, and I feel like some of them have money and that was taken advantage of them. But I feel like because they're so magnetized towards you, and they find you such a thing of beauty, that they're going to make an offer, a hello. But I feel like there's a lot of shyness involved, and you know, human spirit is amazing because it can take so many knocks. It'll keep trying in the realm of love. It will always keep trying. It will always search for that significant other, that person they can spend time with and share their dreams. You ever just have the best idea of your life and nobody's around to share it with, so you jump on social media, phone book, the phone book. Yeah, you just call everybody in the yellow pages. Hello, is this Irma? Irma, hi, this is Christine. I got a good idea. Yeah, Facebook, any of those things, you start to reach out. And that's what this person's heart is doing. They're like, that is the past. I want to reach out and say hello. They're very close by too. Yeah, I feel like a lot of them, they are clients and people that you interact with quite often. But you're so busy in what you're doing that they don't even know really of this. You know how sometimes it's like you just get an inkling, but you don't even have time to follow up on it. It's like that detective that's really busy and he misses that major clue. That's what's happening. But because this person is so strong and believes that the world's infused with magic and love and spirit, that they're coming to you. And this is so lovely. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes. I'll say, yeah. Let me pull a fairy card. 7 of Spring, be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. That's lovely. Yeah, and I believe sometimes when people believe a couple is mismatched or someone is not for you, either because someone's like, oh, that person, they're out of your stratosphere, they're out of your league, they're out of this and that, oh, that person's a governor, or that person. No, we were all people and we were all spirit, and we've all had different experiences, and we all require different love lessons and love connections. So you're like, that's very nice. I'm very glad you feel so happy to share your opinion. But guess what? Here's a list of people who care. So see ya. I do that all the time to people when they just start gabbing at me. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me get my list of people who care and show them a blank page. I know it's very smart-assy, but you know, sometimes you just need your space to deal with your issues. You don't need a barrage of people butting in, right? You're like, I'm good, swish, because it's coming to you, and I'm very excited for you. Hooray! Don't forget to press like and press subscribe, and all my links are below if you guys need a private read, and I'm on Instantgo too, because a lot of you guys are going on first dates or going on things and you just want a quick booster shot of what's up with this, you know what I mean? And so I'm always available, and I get back to you within an hour or two of that too. Love you guys. Again, thank you for your awesome participation last night. This is beautiful. Both of these, 1 and 2, you guys, get ready. The love fairy's coming to town.